You're tuned into the Seed Root Podcast. We're here to inform your mind and expand your horizons for a better life. I'm Carla. I'm a vocalist.
Hi, my name is Rochelle. I play the saxophone.
I'm Norman, and I'm a keyboard player.
Albert Anderson, guitarist. And if you want to see any of us, you can come to South Long United Methodist Church, 8605 South Craig Gear, Sunday morning. Or if you need our services, call 708-351-0333.
Hi, I'm Dr. Joanne Tate. I am a holistic and energy practitioner. The name of my business is Health is the True Wealth. My email is healthisthetruewealth@yahoo.com. My phone number is 773-485-1328. I also will be having an event October 15th. It's at the Chicago Good Health Group, 4900 Lakeshore Drive. It will be from 6 to 8. Once again, I am making vegan food there. But what's really great about this event, it is a collaboration between numerous health care practitioners, traditional and holistic, and they all come together to teach health better.
Welcome back, and we are here again with Dr. Joanne Tate.
Yes, Dr. Tate. I like that. Okay, anyway. Dr. Tate, you've really given us a whole lot of mental food, things to dwell on, and a lot of very fantastic information. One of the things we had talked about that we were wanting to get back to was, Carla?
Rochelle. I was running around the hot potato. No, we was talking about things like definitely physical labor, like something I do for my job. And it's kind of like, we talked about this off air, like getting enough water, and people say, oh, I drank 4 glasses and that should be enough. I feel hydrated. I feel great. Okay, where's my energy drink? So, and how the body, we talked about this in the first segment, how the body really needs water, but you were telling us about half our body weight.
Yes.
Go into that.
On the average, people drink 4 glasses of water a day. So 4 times 8 is 32. Mm-hmm. So today's society is 64 pounds.
Right.
I don't think so. Mm. We must increase our water intake. And if you're starting with the 32, that's cool, but it must increase. And not only increase, we got to understand we have to decrease our body weight.
Mm. Yes.
Yeah.
Because, and not to say that weight is an indicator of illness, because it's not. Mm-hmm. Because there's a whole lot of skinny people in the cemetery.
This is true.
There's a whole lot of skinny people in the cemetery. So, but we have to understand that when the body is overweight, the body is in an environment that's negative.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And negativity loves toxicity.
Ooh.
So we got to make sure that we put that body in a positive way so that the body is balanced.
Okay, so example then for us, a 130-pound person, what should be the water intake for that person?
65 ounces of water per day.
Okay.
I was gonna do the math in my head. I don't want to tell my weight.
So I'll be drinking 150,000.
Right, I know. I need 20 gallons to get half my weight.
So that means that when you've heard the expression "cry me a river," that means I'm going to have to drink one.
All right.
Does it matter the type of water you drink? Because there's a lot of tap water.
That's a good question.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Because, and you guys can go into Google it and look at the different types of water and where they're positioned as far as quality, and you can find out the good waters and the bad waters. I prefer alkaline water because of this. Because of negativity in the world, the free radicals, the food being compromised, the body is basically acidic. And what's the purpose of acidity to the body? What do we need it for?
Acid to break down food.
To break down our food.
Yeah.
Your science teacher will be so proud of you.
Once it stops breaking down our food, then what is gonna do?
Break down the
It's gonna start breaking down the body.
Body, if it's
Okay.
too much
So
acid.
the only time the body is gonna heal is when it's alkaline.
Okay.
I usually associate alkaline water with people who are cancer,
And the reason why, because negativity cannot live in alkaline.
Okay.
It can't live in alkaline.
I'm going to the store after this.
So basically, so also it's changing our emotional outlooks to things as well, and how we deal with challenges and whatnot. So
And understand that every day is not going to be a good day. It's okay.
That's true.
Every day is not going to be a good day. That's what makes you better for tomorrow.
okay,
Remember
so
that, Tyler.
yeah, I have to remember that. So it's not unicorns pooping rainbows. Okay,
It's okay. And we have to.
I don't know if I can handle that.
What happens is society makes us thinking that this world has to be. It's like the unicorn.
Right.
It's not. That's not reality.
Right.
Reality is we're gonna have bad days, and we're gonna have good days. But guess what? You know what I tell my children? If there never was a bad day,
I would
how
know
would you know
the
what a
good.
good day was?
Absolutely.
So we gotta really start teaching our families that it's okay. But my dad told me, I'll never forget this. I used to run track, and I was running track, and I did all the bad things the weekend. Hung out, anything you think was bad, I
I'm
did.
there now. Oh, yeah.
I'm
You gotta have a section on
I'm
bad
running the relay. Okay? I'm the last person with the baton.
Ooh,
I'm it.
yes, you are.
And all of a sudden I'm like so I get up
Run, Joanne, run. And just,
and my dad's in the line. And I don't even want to look at him. I'm like, oh, Daddy, I'm so sorry. He said, guess what, babe? He said, how do you feel? I said, I don't feel good. I'm a loser. He says, what makes a loser? I say, a person that loses.
it's like, it's on the board there. It's like,
He said, a loser is a person that does not identify how to be a winner.
Ooh,
He said, what did you do that made you lose? He said, and not only that, you were second. So look in front of you and tell me what the winner was doing. He said, it's all right sometimes to come second, because
Yeah.
second is able to see what a winner really looks like.
that's
He
good.
says,
Good attitude.
tell me what you did to be a loser. I said, I didn't prepare myself. He said, well, you're no longer a loser. You're a winner because now you know what it takes to be a winner.
I like
Absolutely.
that.
So we
Absolutely,
gotta
yes.
start just changing. We just got this attitude that we gotta do all these great things, and we're individuals. I can't be you. You can't be me. Be you. Because guess what? I can be nobody better than Joanne.
There
'Cause
you
I've been
go.
practicing it really hard. And I know how to do it right now.
See, there
So
you
that's
go.
what we have to understand, who you are, where you are. You have a purpose. God's given. And that's what took me. I have to understand I have a purpose. God has made me who I am. And a lot of times people say, my patient, she told me today, she said, Dr. Tate, you got to stop giving. No, I don't. Because God gives me an abundance.
There you go.
My life is not about monetary value, because God gonna give me what I need. He has me here for a purpose. And every time somebody say, Dr. Tate, guess what? I don't have cancer no more. I've been paid.
There you go.
I've been paid. People, because everything is not about financial to grow. Because I have to grow to the fact that every day I got to get up and read a book. Every day I got to get up and go on the internet and research and research and research. Because tomorrow I might have a question that I didn't know yesterday. But if I keep doing the things I need to do, I'll be able to help that person tomorrow.
Oh, see, I really like that. And yeah, it's beautiful. And I like what you say about being you. You know, you're uniquely you. Because I used to tell my mom.
Uniquely made.
Exactly. Because I used to tell my mom, you know, and I've done it. Everybody's probably heard me do it. I'm going to be more, you know, I'm not going to be as jovial. I'm not going to be as this and that. And like my mom was saying, just do you. And I hear a lot of people tell me that, just do you.
Just be you.
Yeah.
I am really silly and I play a lot. And my kids said, Mama,
That's
are you
good.
going to play until the day you die? I said, probably. I
I've
will.
seen her.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Yes, I will. But that's what keeps me balanced.
There you go.
That's what keeps me balanced. I love to play, you know, but we just got to change. Stop looking at TV and thinking that the lady that's 120 pounds and she has it all. She
Yeah.
doesn't.
You know, that's a good case in point. I was reading an article about a photographer, and she said that there was a baby, these beautiful pictures of this baby, and the person asked her, it's for a magazine article or something, they asked her, can you know, wipe out some of those folds and stuff? And she's like, it's a baby. That's what they have. This, you know, that's normal.
Right.
Exactly. And they were talking about, you know, girls, and you've seen that, the girls that want to look like the models on the cover and all the stuff. And the models don't look like the models on the cover. And once I read about the amount of airbrushing and different things that they do, and I think the more people realize that and see that, because I think in Europe, they have to be more realistic in what they do, or if like somebody thought about this mascara in the United States, that eyelashes were like way out, and I actually looked at the article, and they had the thing that said the model was wearing false eyelashes, you know, and people need to realize that what you see is not necessarily what is.
Or even like when you see somebody else's accomplishments.
Yes.
Also, beauty, you was talking about beauty, but also like if I see, you know, like we talk about I was listening to something else that said don't count other people's money, but it's almost on the same level as beauty. It's like, oh, I see them doing this, I see them with this degrees, but then at the same time, you don't know what goes behind the scenes, or you don't know what you're forfeiting into that image. So it goes, but also with the beauty too. I just, my God, the standard.
You don't know the journey though. You know, their journey might have been something horrible.
Yeah.
To get them to that place, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So you gotta really look into you and figure out what's for you, you know, and not be afraid. You know, I do an emotional technique to actually go into my patients to see what's happening with them emotional. I ask them ahead of time, is it okay? Can I do it? Because with the therapies that I use are invasive, because I can tell you what's happening with you, who did it to you, and that's gonna be scary.
Yeah.
Because that's a vulnerability. That's like you have to be very
Exactly.
vulnerable.
That is vulnerability.
That's hard.
Doing my training, it was 23 of us who started the training, and 5 of us graduated. And
Wow.
out of 5 of us, only 2 of us could do what I can do. And so I had to pray and ask God. And now I know that some of the things I do is God driven.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know, I'm not Superwoman. I can't. How can I, you know, I can remember one day that I was with a patient and I told him, I said, you know what? Your left atrium is 30% blocked. And he says, no, Dr. Tate, I just had a stent put there. I'm like, well, when we scrape things, this body automatically heals, so it's possible that you got to build up there. Right. He's like, no. So I told him what to go to the doctor and go get the test. And he went to the doctor and he came back. He said, Dr. Tate, my left atrium is 30% blocked. You know, so I'm not an X-ray machine. I'm not an MRI. So how did I feel that? And sometimes I literally can see it.
Wow. That's beautiful, but scary at the same time.
I know.
It's scary at the same time. But, so you have to realize that, you gotta realize that it's not about intellect, you know, it's about God. And God has given me a gift, and that's the reason why he probably took my eyes away, because he's like, this is what you need to do.
And we have a question.
Dealing with like PTSD and depression right now, have you dealt with people that maybe have some type of social media anxiety where it's locked? You know, it seems like we're locked in a box now. Most people use social, or most people use social media or the computer in general because it's so much information, and it's only 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
Do you deal with anybody that's maybe addicted to social media or had depression, dealing with that, or just even PTSD?
I actually deal with post-traumatic stress disorder. My husband has it.
Okay.
And I didn't know he had it because he's really smart. Because they lack power. They lack the sense of having power. Not necessarily they lack power. They lack the sense of having power. So what he was smart enough to know that he needed to make sure I didn't know. So he actually went out to get a job that he didn't have to be bothered with no one. He drove a truck. So he had to be bothered with me. He had to be bothered with our children. And even, my children were like, Daddy's never here. Why is he never not here? He took care of us. He made $150,000 a year. He took care of us, but he was never there. But he got hurt. And he came home. And when he went upstairs and came back down, I don't know who he was.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He was a totally different person. So I had to start researching about post-traumatic stress disorder. And they were giving him all this meds and all these things. And the meds only depleted all his thoughts, his reactions, his responses, his everything. So what I did was I made him fast. So he fasted for 56 days.
Wow.
You're so silly.
He's 5 years in February. He's a vegetarian. He exercises. He does breathing. Breathing is so important.
Oh, yes.
You
Yes.
guys have to breathe through your nose. Your stomach inflates. Exhale. Your stomach deflates.
Exactly.
You gotta do this at least 3 times a day for 15 minutes. You gotta do it. I taught him exercises. He works on the trampolines. He does so many things. We do biofeedback. So he actually trains his brain to instant changes. So he'll learn how to respond to them.
Okay.
As a post-traumatic stress, you can't gear into all triggers because anything can be a trigger. But you try to prepare them through biofeedback. On, okay, it's a trigger, it's time for me to breathe, it's time for me to do this. So he's trained on how to react when it happens, so his response is not negative. So I mean, if you had seen my husband 15 years ago, he was a complete monster. The police come up to him, he would actually muff them and push them away. And I was so afraid because I'm like, if I'm not with him, they're gonna think, they're gonna react. And so post-traumatic stress disorder is serious, but any type of mental illness, as a matter of fact, I'm in mental health training now. Any type, you gotta learn how to identify it, but just giving people medicine is not the answer. And I don't this is what I'm confused with. Amino acids is what everybody says you gotta have protein. It's not the protein, it's the amino acid. It's the amino acid. But the amino acids is what governs the neurotransmitters. So why is nutrition not important in mental health?
Yeah.
Please?
Yeah.
Now maybe I'm confused. Maybe I don't have it right. I don't understand why it's not important. Nutrition should be at the top there. Next, if you're going to give them medicine, I can understand giving them medicine to start the control.
Yeah.
But they're the initial. But we need to get them into breathing and to nutrition and to exercising. Socialization. Because they have to learn how to be in that crowd and effectively work themselves in that crowd. It's just, I'm just confused. I'm going to start researching and asking why that's not part of it. But your neurotransmitters are your signaling to your response. Why are we not, I just don't get it.
All for our listeners, neurotransmitters, that's the things that happen in our brain. The little touch triggers is a bunch of billions of them. Billions of those things.
And that actually is a great help because I suffered a concussion and in April, and I'm still dealing with some stuff with that. And I've been, taking pain pills and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that would be nice to wean myself off
And
of
then
that.
the thing with your pain pills is we have to understand pain pills play negative parts in the body. First of all, your liver.
Really?
Your liver
Yeah.
is the headquarter of releasing
Yes,
toxins.
yes.
So if you're constantly inputting more than the liver can output, then you're causing a problem. Also, you're thinking the liver, the kidney, and the pancreas are cousins.
Okay.
So you gotta, if I'm looking at a diabetic person, normally I'm gonna check, when I check to see if they're diabetic, if I wanna see if they're diabetic, because they're gonna tell me, I check the pancreas, I check the liver, and I check the kidney.
Okay.
And if I get negative response in both of them, I'm like, okay, you're a diabetic. You can
Okay.
tell me what you wanna tell me, but you're a diabetic.
Okay.
Because they interact with each other. So we gotta really, liver cleanses are imperative.
Okay.
Or eating things that cleanse the liver.
Okay.
Kale.
You know.
Yes.
I love
Yeah.
kale. Kale is my
I like
friend.
Kale.
Kale.
It's
I like
my
dark
friend. I love kale.
berries.
Yeah, I love berries.
Watercress.
Yes.
Those
Let's face
things,
it, I love everything.
yeah, those things really good for cleaning the liver, flushing the liver. Parsley, celery, things like that are good for the kidney.
I love celery.
You know,
I love
so
celery.
we gotta
Parsley.
really start.
I'm so glad I ate before this
understanding.
podcast.
You know, a lot of times people want to lose weight. You lose weight, losing weight is fat. It's
Yes.
not toxicity.
Okay.
So
So when you lose weight, where's the toxicity? It's still there.
Ah.
So you still have to cleanse the body.
Okay.
And so a lot of people say, well, I have a body cleanse, and I can cleanse your body, and you can still eat.
Okay. Okay.
No, wrong
I'm gonna
answer.
take this detox and go to McDonald's.
No, you got to cleanse the body. Now, you got to cleanse the body, but you got to change the diet. No whites, as I said before.
Now, when you say no whites,
No white sugar, no white flour, no white rice.
okay.
And I knew that screen was coming. Well, mine is with
That's my weakness.
I love
Whites are my weakness.
yeah, the unholy trinity. I love it. So,
I just had white rice before I got it.
You want to eat bread, eat multi.
I love multigrains. I do.
Multi-grain.
when I can by myself, I buy Ezekiel bread.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good. But wheat bread is a colored.
It's colored, really?
Yeah.
Right.
Really?
Really?
I did
never
not
knew that.
know
I
that. I did not
that.
know that. Okay.
The more you know.
Yeah, that's what
And you know what? I really think the reason why we're sick is because the lack of education.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Well, I would
Almost
say
anything. Yeah.
not so much, well, lack of education,
Nutritional.
but then
Nutritional
also,
education.
also the misinformation.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
true.
that's
That's true
And
too.
to the point that it's easy to say, for me, when I'm out in the public and even at church, they're like, you know what, Dr. Tate, you talking through me.
Yeah.
Really?
Hear what you got to say.
Really?
You need to shut up.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah, in
Seriously.
fact, because I was,
Nah.
you know, because I said, I always tell everybody about you. They say, well, I got a pain right here. I know a friend who's a holistic doctor, and she can, and I start singing your praises. And one person I was telling, they were saying was like the one that in the olden days they used to sell the phony kind of medicines.
Oh,
and stuff
snake
like-
oil salesman.
Yeah, snake oil
Snake
salesman.
oil?
He started
Yeah.
making that
Venom?
comparison. You know, and I was trying to get him to understand, no, this is nothing like that. And I
Right.
said, for my own personal thing, what she did, I just asked a question. She came out with telling me that what she saw was wrong and what I needed to do it. And I did it, and it went away. So I said, it works. She's not one of those snake oil
Right.
salesmen. Yeah, well, you just so nice, and you don't know this. And all this. So it got to a point where I just gave up trying to educate them. Because some people, some people are for the SOS. Stuck on
Yeah,
stupid.
right.
Stuck on stupid. I like they use that.
And they're not gonna change, and so you just, I give the information, they have a choice, they can take it. I've had a patient, I never forget, a lady came to me when I had a clinic on 73rd off of Jeffrey. And she came to me because someone sent her to me, and she had pain for 7 years. And
Wow.
she came to me, and I took the pain away.
Okay.
And once I took the pain away, she says, you know what, Dr. Tate, I'm not gonna pay you because you didn't take long enough. I'm like,
What?
What?
Wait, back up. Wait,
Long
you
enough.
didn't take long enough?
the process wasn't long enough, so therefore she wasn't gonna pay me.
But the pain went away.
But the pain went away.
Okay.
You did your
But
job.
she paid that doctor for 7 years that she kept going back and forth to, and the pain still stayed.
And I would have been mad at that doctor, not at
But
you.
no, since she
Thank
told
you.
me. So I told her, I said, you know what, let me explain something to you. What I do is God driven. I said, because you know anybody else like me? You know anybody that could took the pain away? I said, but there's a possibility that there is another person. But there's the good and the ugly. And the ugly is you know who? The devil. I said, so the next time that you come into a holistic office, especially with a person that is practicing God-driven things, make sure it's God-driven instead of devil-driven. Because if it's devil-driven, the pain that they take away, they can give it back to you 100 times. You won't be able to walk out of here.
Wow.
So play with it if you wanna. But see, I've been paid. Thank you very much, and you have a great day.
I'm absolutely
Still stunned on that one.
flabbergasted on that because I would have been because I mean everybody knows what it's like to have pain and then have that pain go away. That's a wonderful feeling. You
It'd
can have
been
it
like the 10
faster.
lepers.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But that's how she felt.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
That's
but
what
she
people
felt
are
better.
like that, you know.
That's amazing.
People are like, I mean, even when I work on people, sometimes they're like, I'm like, what do you want it to come back? It's gone. Leave it alone.
See, I would be. See,
You were talking earlier about inflammation, explaining what inflammation is. If you can go into that, because we hear inflammation all the time on TV.
Well, the white
and stuff.
blood cells are what pushes out the inflammation. So you get your inflammation from your white blood cells.
Okay.
But what happens is numerous things can make inflammation overabundance.
Okay.
Eating the wrong foods, not taking care of the wound or the injury. So
Okay.
sometimes we hit an arm and we say, oh, it'll be all right.
I've done that.
I've done that my
Instead
whole
of
life.
getting some clean alcohol or getting some Epsom peroxide, we don't do the things that we need to do
Okay.
to prevent it from going just to an injury to now to something that's going to be a pain infused problem for years.
Wow.
So we don't do the proper procedures
Okay.
to stop it. Also, in our training, we learned that when you're injured, it kind of leaves an opening,
Oh.
you know, because it can leave an opening where it's at. So the food that we eat flows through our blood, right?
Yes.
So if you're not properly chewing your food, if there's some type of injury that the food can lodge in, it's possible it can lodge. And if it lodges there, what's going to happen? It's going to decompose. If it decomposes, what's going to happen? Toxicity. Toxicity, inflammation. So it just can be overabundance of negativity happening to that one injury that you just didn't take care of.
Wow.
I just got over a septic bursitis. I fell on a basketball court. I didn't plan it correctly. And this arm doesn't have feeling, so I didn't necessarily know. I've never had an issue with it, but it blew up.
Whoa.
And there was a lot of pus in there.
I think I've seen it before.
I probably
never
didn't clean
seen
it
it.
right. Probably I wasn't eating something right. You know, and so it's red, it's itchy. It's giving me issues in my. I'm just starting to get over it. They gave me antibiotics to get over it, but I mean, I'm not really over. The pain was I had gout too before. And
Wow.
I'm like I'm balancing both those pains, and this infection is right up there with gout. Probably even worse. You know, so.
And gout is nothing but a buildup of acid.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've
That's
heard
all
that.
it is. It's a
Yeah.
buildup of acid.
I'm
Basically
gonna turn you
uric
around.
acid.
I'm gonna turn you around for a minute. My dietitian told me, she said, what you really need is a good enema and then get you a good colonic.
Enema and
let me tell
colonic.
you, when I tell my patients,
When I was a kid, my
before
mother
you
used to make us do
fast,
that.
before you fast, the first thing you should do is a coffee enema.
I got a surprise for you. I've actually had that. Good
Do a
God, did that feel good?
Do it. Oh my goodness!
As
Don't
dumb
you?
as it
Oh
sounds.
Can we do
my
espresso?
Goodness.
Whatever kind of coffee
I actually use
And that-
organic coffee,
Yeah, that's what it
but before you do a fasting, do you a coffee enema. Then
Okay.
do your fasting, and the fasting is no fried food, no white.
I am hissing at boys.
We have a misreputation of fasting. Fasting should not, if you decide to go to juicing or water, things like
I
that.
want juice.
You should
I've
go
done
to
water.
a proper fasting first. People are being misled into fasting. If you eat meat, I figure when you fast, you should be eating meat once or twice a week, and that's it.
Okay.
The second week, once a week. The third week, no more meat. You're eating fruits and vegetables. They still can be cooked,
Okay.
but not fried,
Okay.
and you still
I
can
can
do
live
raw.
with that. Okay. I
The,
can live with that.
the fourth week, you're gonna go into raw.
Raw,
You eat
yeah.
salads and things like that.
It's a process.
You can have smoothies with it.
Okay.
Then when you get to your next week, you're gonna do smoothies. But once you do your 7 days of smoothies, the 8th day you gotta come back. You gotta prepare this digestive. So you're gonna be eating things like pineapples and oranges. It has bromelain in it. It's gonna prepare the stomach.
Okay. I have to
To
remember
reentry.
that. Yeah.
So, but we're being misinstructed on fasting. Okay? You don't fast like that. Not only that, it takes the body into stress. And we don't want the body to go into stress. So you gotta know how to fast.
Okay.
You know, and when I take my patients into fasting, because we always do it after the first of the year. I do it again after Easter, because I don't want anybody to say, it's Easter time and I'm fasting. And then I do it again after the 4th of July.
Okay.
And then I do it again in like October, where there's no holidays.
Okay.
We do it again. But they
Okay.
should be done 4 times a year.
Oh, okay. 4 times
So
a year.
it's the spring, the summer, the fall, and the winter.
Okay.
Okay? But before you go fasting, you coffee enema, and after you go fasting, you coffee enema. But the first 7 days that you get to the point that you're eating nothing but fruits and vegetables, I want you to do a liver cleanse. Because liver is, you're gonna make sure that you gotta stimulate that liver, so the
Okay.
functionality is where it needs to be, so the toxins are gonna be released.
Okay.
Now,
So
what
that's
involves
enough.
the liver cleanse?
Well, the
It's
liver.
been a long time. I
The
forgot.
liver cleanse that I use, it's not a happy day.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
Trust me, I remember
It's
that.
not a happy
Thank
day.
you. Tell
And,
tell.
and you really should do a liver cleanse, because the liver is connected to the eyes. And liver represents anger. And so-
Really?
Right.
Sounds to me.
Liver represents anger, and anger has so many faces. Because if I'm grieving, I can be angry.
I've
If
done
I'm
that.
mad, you know, it's so many. If I'm fearful, I can be angry. So we gotta really make sure we keep that liver where it needs to be. So what I do is, on a Friday, because I'm a 7-day Adventist, I gotta make sure on Saturday I go to church. So on Friday at 12 o'clock I stop, a.m. or Friday night I stop eating, and I drink nothing but apple juice, organic apple juice.
Okay.
The reason why I drink organic apple juice because the malic, it cleans the colon, it sweeps the colon.
Really?
Malic
Okay.
acid sweeps
Okay.
the colon.
I'm going
So I
shopping.
drink that.
Yes.
Love apple juice.
It has to be organic apple juice. It has to have the mother in it.
Yeah.
Mother.
Just like we do with the.
I drink that, and I drink that with water. You can have water and just that, all the way until 6 o'clock Saturday night.
Oh wow.
At 6 o'clock Saturday night, you're gonna, if you're hypertensive, and I'm not hypertensive, but I cannot stand Epsom water.
Okay.
So I drink the citric magnesium. And
I've
so,
had that.
I drink that at 6 o'clock, and I drink it at 8 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, you take a freshly squeezed grapefruit, 2 teaspoons of castor oil, some cold pressed olive oil,
Okay.
and some ginger. And mix it up real good and drink.
Okay.
Make sure you cover your bed with plastic.
Oh really?
You'll be screaming.
And put on something that you can't get messed up. Because you may not be able to run that fast.
Oh, I was about to say, get out of my way.
Now, I wonder why I never did another cleanse like that.
Okay.
I've had
and
somebody
lay
talking about,
on-
yeah.
And lay on your right
Here.
side, because the right side has the tendency to stop the cramping and things like that.
See, basically what you do is you just go to the bathroom, you just set up shop there.
Right, just imagine there's a
The
line.
last time I did that, I literally had to sit there for a long.
So, and that goes to show you what's all in your system.
Yeah,
So
okay.
then, the next morning, you get up, 6 o'clock in the morning, you repeat. At 6 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock you repeat. And then, after that, you go back to, you can drink the apple juice and your water. By 3 o'clock, you're fine, so you can go back to eating salads and things like that. And just build yourself back up to eating.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you, after the liver cleanse, you feel so good.
I can believe that.
And after the liver cleanse,
Okay. Okay.
after the liver cleanse, I'm telling you, you have an awesome feeling.
Oh, wow.
It is, it's really good. And so I always say, do it when you're doing your fasting. If you're not doing your fasting, you can do it. And then if you finish the liver cleanse, then you do the coffee enema. But if you're gonna continue your fast, wait until the last day.
Okay.
Well, Dr. Tate, I want to thank you for being with us. You have given us a wealth of information.
Yes,
listeners will appreciate it, honest to God.
You're welcome so much.
I know that the people, all of our listeners will want to listen to it again, and plus, we're going to have you come back because
Yes.
you were telling us about some other things we discussed that I'm not even going to tell you about. You just have to tune in to find out about it.
Yes.
Because health affects 100% of people. Yeah, that's
Yes.
But it's been such
Have
a
you bring
pleasure to
food?
have you here.
I'm just kidding. Sample.
Not the detox
Sample. No, not the detox samples, because I don't think enough bathrooms in
We'll
this.
take a commercial
in
break.
here.
We'll take another commercial break. We take another commercial break. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. I have to wrap up.
And everybody, okay, anyway.
Okay, the voice of reason, we're sorry.
Yes. So again, I want to thank you for that, and
You're welcome so much.
we're going to extend to you to open invitation to come back as many times as you can make it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you guys. It's been a pleasure. I've had a ball.
Oh, pleasure's ours. Absolutely.
I love
Yeah.
educating. I love.
Okay, so
Well,
Carla,
this
take it away.
segues into us asking this question. At the end of our interview segments, we always like to ask our guests, what seed of wisdom or advice would you like to plant for those that are listening?
I think that we should listen to Matthew 21 to 22. And it states that your body is a temple. And I really think that we need to understand that because it's not ours. Our body, we were bought at a price. You know, and God gives us so much. Why are we not treating this body like the temple it is?
Okay.
You know, because if we do, the blessings will be overwhelming, you know, in abundance. So that's what I think I would like to leave.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Joanne Tate. And we had a great time talking because
Yes.
everybody had their questions. Just comes
Yeah.
We're like, oh my gosh, she's here. You know, so we want to thank you. And that will wrap up our podcast for today. Thank you again.
Okay?
And remember, plant a seed and watch it grow. Praise Cafe Radio is a media advertising company. They take the fear out of advertising. Listen to Praise Cafe Radio every Sunday afternoon from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. on 1570 AM WGBN.